Good morning, class. This is your INO assessment video. We have a scenario here, Mr. Tom Smith. He's going to be, that scenario is going to be our scenario that we're going to use for INO. You'll be able to access that on My IoT. INO is a very important tool used in the hospital and care facilities. And we need to be very careful in documenting on this to be able to determine if the patient is getting enough fluids or getting too much fluids, if they're becoming dehydrated, that sort of thing. So you'll be recording all 3 shifts. I'm going to go through the first shift with you. As you can see here on the table, you have oral, IV, irrigation, BM, emesis. This is the output section over here. The input section is here. It's very important to get it into the right columns. So make sure everything is documented in the actual time that he did it. The scenario is you come on shift at 7 o'clock and you're assigned to Mr. Tom Smith. He has a partial gastrectomy. That's partial removal of the stomach, and this is his 2nd day post-op. Nasal gastric tube is in place, as is a suction tube, which is going to be needed to be irrigated as per Dr. Bones's order. Oral intake is limited to sips of water, Sprite, and ice cubes. As you, his nurse, will be recording each time he has liquid in or out on the intake and output record, also known as the INO record. I will help you through the one between 7 and 15. You will be doing, you'll record for the other nurses and all the INO records throughout the shifts between 1500 and 0700 the next morning. You'll total the 8-hour shifts and add the 8-hour shifts to get 24-hour totals. Mr. Smith's activity is limited to being in bed due to being connected to the suction tube and his recent surgery. Okay, so when you come on, his vital signs, you do his vital signs at 7 o'clock, and he asks for a Sprite. He takes in 1 tablespoon, and if you look up at the top of the page here, 1 tablespoon is 15 mil. And so we're going to put in 15 there. Okay, and then you hang a new bag of 1,000. Oh, actually, you note his IV needs to be changed, and there's 250 left to count. So we're going to put that in here. You hang a new bag, and we record the 250 that has been used since they were last counted. You also asked for the urinal, and when you emptied it, there was 400 of urine, so that's going to go in here. Over here in the remarks, if you want to, clear yellow urine. You don't have to put that in there, but in the hospital we actually add stuff like that just so we know. All right. All those we got recorded, okay, for 7 o'clock, and got them all recorded. So we go back in to see how Mr. Smith is doing at 8 o'clock. He asked for 1 ice cube, and let's see, 1 ice cube is 5 mil. So we'll go into the 8 o'clock column here for oral. He asked for 1 ice cube, and so I'm going to put a 5 in there. Irrigate his NG tube with 30. So that's going to be right here. under the irrigation column. And now he just wants to sleep for a while, so you record those on your I&O sheet, and his light goes back on at 9 o'clock. And he asked for the bedpan. He has 250 out. Again, we're in the 9 o'clock. He had 250 out. And over here, we're going to type in brown liquid. That way we know. The suction needs to be emptied, and that's over here. And that was 650 that we put in there in suction. He asked for ice again and takes 2 ice cubes. And so back over here under oral, ice cube is 5, so he took 2, so that's going to be 10. All right. And he's tired, wants to go back to sleep, so we're going to let him rest, and we've got it all documented. He lets us be until 11 o'clock now. He's not going to bother us at 10, so we went on to 11 o'clock. He's awake and wants water. He takes 3 tablespoons of water. A tablespoon is 15, so that would be 45. He took of water. You irrigate his NG tube again, and that's going to be 40. And the irrigation. His wife comes in and they're busy talking, so we go and record all this stuff. We come back in at 12 when he turns his light on. Ask for 1 teaspoon of water. And so that's going to be 5. Decided that was all he wanted. You ask if he asked for the urinal and you emptied that 350. So we're going to come over here. I can find my cursor here. 350 here, and nope, not there. Let's go over to the urine column. And again, we're in the 12 o'clock line there. 350 of urine. Yep. See what's going on here. 350. There we go. Finally got, again, it was clear and yellow. He wants to rest again, so we go back. We come back in at 1 o'clock. So down here at 1 o'clock. Let's see. He asked for the bedpan again. Brown liquid stool that measures 500. So at 1 o'clock under BM, we're going to put 500. And again, that's going to be brown liquid. Okay. And got him all cleaned up. He wants 1 ice cube and he takes 1 teaspoon of water. Ice cube and teaspoon of water is going to be 10 ml. Ice cube 5 and teaspoon is 5, so he gets 10 there. At 2 o'clock, he goes in. He's nauseated. He vomits 145. So over here, we're again at 1400 here. MS is 145. Golden green liquid. All right. We're still with him. We irrigate his NG tube again. And that's with 35. Empty his suction again for 80. Let's see, anything else? All these we got recorded on the INO record. So now at 3 o'clock, we're going to come in, 1500. Uh, 1500, we record the last IV fluid, 620. That's what he's used in our shift. And we do our totaling. Total each column as well as totaling that shift's total intake and output by adding the entire intake for 8 hours under 8-hour intake total line and all of the output for your 8 hours under the 8-hour output total line. You let the oncoming nurse how much IV fluid is in the bag when you did your final count. So over here in the remarks, there was 380. And we're going to call that left to count. And that way they know how much, when that bag runs out, they're going to know how much we actually put in there, or how much was left to go in there. So we're going to add all these up. And 15 and 5 is 20, 30, 45 is 75, 80, 90. Okay. IV, we have 870. For irrigation, we have 70, 105. And add all three of those up. And let's see, 75. 165. So I'm gonna have to get my calculator out for that. Anyway, you would put that over here in the 8-hour total section, and we go over here. You'd add these three and put them in the 8-hour total section here, and then come over here to BM. We got 750 there. And here we got 145. And urine, we got 750. Oh, I made a mistake. I think this was supposed to be 375 at 12 o'clock. Let me go back up to 12 o'clock. It is, it's supposed to be 375, see? Got to be accurate. Down here, that's going to be 775. And over here, that's going to be 1130. And then you would add all these up and put them over here. The 750, you'd add these 4 up and put them over here in total output for that 8 hours. And then after you get all these done, you're going to add the 3 8-hour totals, this one, and this one for output, and you're going to put them down here under 24-hour total. And for intake, you're going to put the 8-hour total for days, 8-hour total for swings, 8-hour total for nights, and then you're going to put down here total 24-hour intake and total 24-hour output. You're going to take these two, 24-hour intake, and put them here on this line. You'll take the 24-hour output and put it down on this one. And if it's a minus, it's a deficit, and if it's a plus, it's an excess. Okay? And so if these aren't right, these are all worth 5 points, so make sure you put all these in. These are also worth 5 points. These down here are worth 5 points. And make sure you circle excess or deficit. Or deficit, yeah, excess or deficit. And above all, make sure your name is on the paper at the top, because we don't know who to give credit for if we don't have the name on there. Okay, happy calculating, and I'll let you go ahead and do swing shift and night shift. Be sure to be accurate in where you place if you get it in the wrong row or column, that's not, you don't get credit for that. Has to be accurate, because we have a CHF patient. We want to make sure that we're keeping track of his INO. All right, that concludes this video. Enjoy learning INO, and until we see each other on another video, have a happy week.